Hello, and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes. I'm Izzy.
I'm Rocker. Thank you, Deader Dudes Nation. We're continuing our horror in July series. And we're finishing up the trilogy on Netflix of the Fear Street saga.
Fear Street Saga indeed. This time we're going to review and talk about Fear Street Part 3, 1666. Right? Directed by Leigh Janiak, who directed the other two. Written by Phil Raziadell, Leigh Janiak, and Kate Trefry. Now it has the same, basically the same cast as the other two films, but they're playing different characters. As if you guys saw, spoilers, in the second one, we have Ziggy mentioned, told her story about 1978, then what transpires after towards the end of 78, when they find her, the witch's body and her hand. The main character, what's her name? Jeez. Can't I forgot her name in the movie, but they reunite the hand and the body. She gets these visions, and then I guess she sees what's happening in 1666. That being said, Rocket, take it away, and let's get into it.
All right, so puns abound in this trilogy, 1666.
Indeed.
Okay, so we're back in Puritan times, and, you know, the whole premise of the movie is now blown wide open. Sarah Fier is not the culprit here. She's not the one who cursed everyone in damnation and set upon a cycle of serial killers and everything. What gets blown? Oh yeah, I mean spoilers are bad, but what gets blown open here is she actually is the victim here, and she has found true love. And because the true love is forbidden in these times, and a plague has been unleashed coincidentally at the same time, a plague that possesses the pastor, forcing the pastor to do the evil deeds of the devil or devils. He locks the kids in the church or whatever, schoolhouse, plunges all their eyes out. It's pretty horrific and, built up dramatic scene. All their eyes are plucked out. He's possessed. He's going after. They barge into the school, and then they have to kill him. Now, this is historically true. The witch hunt is on.
Right. Now,
but what's not historically true, obviously, is that the pastor gets possessed and kills 12 kids. So, in the fact that somebody witnesses Sarah Fier's love dalliance, they call it, the tryst in moonlight, which, by the way, the moon rises. I had the quote in my head. The moon rises before the new moon or some crap, which is code for eat some berries and mushrooms and you get to psychedelic trance. I mean, teenagers throughout time will always be teenagers. So the whole thing is she's been set up to take the fall for the true devil worshiper, the true person who has made a pact with the devil, which is Sheriff Good's whole lineage.
Solomon Good. Now,
Solomon's Good.
Yeah, I found it interesting when they introduced this character. They made a big deal about him. I guess I didn't put one and one together that, it's the same,
Well, which is why.
I'm like,
holy puns abound. Last name Good, last name Fear, 16666. I mean, it to the point it gets a little comical, and I'm sorry to say it robs it from maybe some kind of truer sense of horror, because you're kind of sitting there already thinking, okay, what's going to happen here? I did like the historical part of the movie, of the episode, I must say. It wasn't as deeply run as something like The Witch, which we reviewed, shameless pun, and was a really good movie. An instant Halloween classic.
You can't compare this, how it was, because I actually cringed at some moments at the dialogue, some of.
I get it. They didn't go full-fledged vernacular because they would lose the audience.
Yeah.
But they had enough, and with accent and with garb and setting, which looked pretty involved, that you're transported back in time to 1666.
Right.
So she's got a forbidden love. She takes the fall, and she actually is the one who places a curse only on good. That the truth shall set you free. I will haunt you from all my days. It's actually Sheriff Good and his lineage that have to unleash the demonic forces every few years in the form of a serial killer to use the blood to feed the demons.
Now, isn't that too
Convoluted?
Yeah, and that's my biggest issue with this whole trilogy is the fact that, I mean, the rules aren't specifically stated. Everything it kind of, okay, this happened. Oh yeah, because you got to do this, and then it kind of doesn't make any sense. But oh, we got to do this, and this happened, and then you're like, okay, so we get it. Sarah Fier's the witch, or was the witch, but really wasn't the witch. It really was Solomon Good and his whole. So he has to freaking release serial killers every so often to appease the devil or devils, and fill it with blood and the whole, and write the names on the stones and all that. It kind of, yeah, I get it. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I mean, it wasn't a super surprise. It was kind of predictable. It wasn't super surprising to me that they would go that way. I was kind of, but
I mean, just look at again with the super puns, Sunnyvale, Shady Side. I mean, I think because of all that's part of it, it's made up. It was never meant to be taken as serious as, say, The Shining, The Exorcist, Amityville Horror, something that is pure fright. Yeah, even in today's terms like Get Out and the others, Hereditary, Midsommar, something like that. It wasn't like pure dramatic horror in that sense. Can you categorize this as horror comedy? A little bit. Actually, a lot.
Because take it, we don't, at least I never read the Fear Street books. I was little, a little older, so I never read the books, the R.L. Stein books. So I guess it was geared towards a young audience, even though these movies are rated R, which are geared towards the audience who read the books but are now adults. So it's not going to be hardcore horror, in the sense
it's lighter. It definitely is a lighter sense of horror.
Or there's blood, there's maiming and killing and murder and everything. It's still missing that extra.
Well, I give it credit in a few things. The forbidden love at the time was punishable.
Yeah,
completely punishable. So that's the premise in that sense, as far as why she was hung, and was fine. They had to play with 3 different time periods. Now, granted, 78 and 94 is not too big of a stretch, but 1666 is. For acting, setting, costume design, and language, and soundtrack, they did a fantastic job. And obviously in 1666, not much of a soundtrack you could do over there. They did have, folk songs, folk dancing, simple guitars, and whatnot. So in that sense, they did cover their bases. I didn't expect them to be Academy Award-winning level and stuff like that. But what they did accomplish is a trilogy spanning 400 plus years, 300 plus years, with a curse. And if you buy into it, it's entertaining. Let me leave it at that.
Yeah, look, you're right. In that sense, if you are looking for something to knock your socks off and have the next great horror opus or epic, this ain't it. But if you're
polite pass.
If you're a fan of the books and you spent 4 hours of your life already watching this, and another 2 hours, which I'm surprised how long these movies are, then yes. I mean, it almost got to the point where it was almost too over the top, and then it kind of brought it back just enough.
I mean, in contrast to probably how you feel upset, I actually like this the best of the 3. And if I had to rank them, it would be 1666, 94, and then 78.
Really? I still prefer 78 1666, a far second, and last but not least, 1994 Part 1, and then 1994 Part 2, which...
Izzy, get out of Studio 54, man.
Now, obviously, it hasn't been confirmed, but toward the end of the film, again, spoilers abound, someone, once after Sheriff Good is eliminated and the lineage is destroyed, and Shady Side becomes, pun intended, Sunny Side, and Sunnyvale, I guess, becomes all shady. And within where the tombs were and the stone pillars, all the names were, they had the book. The book where, yeah, well, basically, it's a,
Actually, he's what do you call it? The Witch's Journal, I guess.
Journal. Someone takes it. So it's open for fourth film or.
And I think rumor has it they find this book in a cabin in the woods somewhere in Michigan.
Oh no! Don't even joke. Like don't even kid around like that. That is just, Rocca has been too much of the sherry this morning.
I had a double Irish coffee, so good, bro. Okay.
All right, time for ratings and go for it.
All right. Well, let's do a rating total trilogy. Or you want to do just this standalone? We'll do both.
How about give me your rating for this?
All right, 66. 666. For me, I did like it better. I would actually give it a 3.5 bloody hands.
Okay.
Because it did tie up the rest, because I did appreciate how they did 1666 period piece. Not completely over the top, but it moved paced well, better to me than the other two. Because it was only maybe 3/4 of the episode, and then the rest was present time, 94, wrap things up, solve, resolve, whatnot. I would give it that. As a trilogy in total, being that the other two, I think, lagged behind and this was up, if you average it together, throw in my Einstein math, 3 bloody axes.
All right. For me, 1666 was better than 94, yet not as good as 78 for me. So I would have to give this a 2.5 bloody severed hands. And for the grand total of the trilogy, I would probably have to give it, 2.5 bloody axes.
I was hoping you'd somewhere break tradition and go maybe 2 3/4.
I don't want to confuse the people. Speaking of the people, please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And for more content, if you like our, quickie horror movie reviews, we have more on the horizon. We have Fireplace Part 2.
Fireplace Part 2, which is now available. Before it was limited and only in theaters. So now it's been made available. And a few others on the horizon, especially summer movies coming out.
Indeed.
Which by the way, Izzy reviewed The Tomorrow War, which I just recently watched yesterday. Excellent sci-fi movie, as far as whatever's out now. Pretty damn good. Good action, good pacing, great review. Check out his review on our YouTube channel as well as on IG. All right, thanks so much. Again, Horror in July, you can't really beat it.
Can't beat it. Thank you, everybody. I'm Izzy. Take care.
Save the whales.